everyone, I'm Toluca from Markers and Minions.
I am Jenna, and I am a special education teacher, and I work at Toluca's daughter school.
Yes. All right, so today we're going to do our Unit 8 of Benchmark Advance video, where we talk about the overall theme across the grade levels, the anchor charts that you can use, and some project ideas. And for Unit 8, it's like never ending, the project ideas
a
that
lot
we
of
have for
science
this
fun
one.
stuff.
Yeah. Before we begin, a couple of quick announcements. We have the new M&M Teacher Planner. It is for next year, 2023, 2024. Thank you. I almost picked up mine, but it's like the one from this year. So we have 3 different covers to choose from. This is the new cover, the boho rainbow. By the way, just ignore like all of these like ring light things everywhere. My office is like a little cave, so we have to have all this artificial light. Anyway, it's really cute. We also have the flare pen cover and the school supplies cover, same as last year. And then the big difference this year is that we have 2 different planning layouts. The first one is going to be vertical, and this is the new one, where you can plan your days vertically going down. And then we also have the option that has the original horizontal planning days. So this is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the layout's a bit different. And this year, it is all dated for you. So that's the difference from last year's. Of course, we still have the same awesome templates. So you can plan out not only your benchmark templates or units, you can plan out your math units this way. And then we also have our benchmark unit planning pages. Let me show that. This is awkward. In this section. So this is like the first few weeks of school when you're doing the foundations and routines, the review and routines. And then let's just skip ahead to, like, for example, Unit 4, Week 3. So you have all of your boxes to plan out your benchmark unit. So this is a really awesome planner. It's on...
Can we do the page in the front? Sorry, those are my favorite. There's like the dry erase page, right?
Oh, yeah.
Those are my favorite pages, as like the teacher in me. These pages are dry erase. You can like...
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Yeah, this, you use a dry erase or a wet erase, and you can you can map out your bulletin boards, you can map out your room layout, your seating chart. We have some blog posts that help you with like mapping out your students so that you can have good collaborative conversation amongst your students, strategically place them that way. And then once you're done, you just erase it, because we need to change our seating up every few months.
Days.
It's
April. It's every few days.
My daughter just got her seat moved for the first time this last week.
Oh,
And
she's a good one. That's why.
I know. She had to request it because someone was bothering her, so she had to move.
Yeah.
All right. Also, in addition to the planner, another kind of like new thing is our YouTube channel, which is not new, but we started a new series on there called Building a Love of Literacy, where I am filming weekly videos around phonics, spelling, comprehension, and writing. And they're like easily digestible videos. They're like 5 to 10 minutes long. So check those out. Give me a like on those videos so that I know that I'm not just like talking to no one. And yeah, check those out. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, take it away.
All right, so the essential questions for the unit. So kindergarten, the theme is weather and seasons, and the essential question is how do our lives change with the seasons? The unit or the first grade theme is observing the sky. Why do the sun and the moon capture our imagination? Second grade, wind and water change earth. How do we react to changes in nature? And I know that's a lot of like erosion and
Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Third grade theme, weather and climate. How do we understand change? Fourth grade, earth changes. How do earth's natural processes impact our lives? And then fifth grade, water, fact and fiction. What does water mean to people and the societies they live in?
In 6th grade, we don't have access, but if you'd like to share your theme in the comments, we can share that out too. All right, so let's talk about the anchor chart.
Yeah. So
this is what we're using as decoration. We also have the little chart here that we'll show instead of trying to zoom into that. But this is the one that I designed for third grade. So weather and climate, this is the grade I taught third mainly, second and third. And so I went all out with this unit. And one of the big differences that we had to talk about was the difference between weather and climate. And so those were two of our big concepts. So they got their own separate little sections on my anchor chart so that we could differentiate between those. And then we also created a category for just science in general. So like the study of weather and the tools that we use and how you look at patterns and make predictions. And then also natural disasters. So how this goes hand in hand with the climates. And I would always have my students like research a famous natural disaster in history and come up with a cool project around that.
Then there's also this version, which is in the same pack. So you could have this like in your students' notebooks, and as you're introducing the anchor chart, just filling in the important information in the blanks.
Mm-hmm. So we printed off the one that I made for third grade, but I have these made for kindergarten through fifth. Mm-hmm. So you could print off the anchor chart for each unit, each grade level as you move along. And Jenna actually reminded me of something because she printed this out and stuffed it up there. And she said, whenever we print one of these out, I always like want to color them in. And I thought, what a great incentive. Like you could have that be, you can change it out with each unit. Like who's the anchor chart color? Like maybe have it be like the table that has the most points that week or whatever.
Would it be my son's table? He told me his table is the last place right now.
Aww.
Kindergarten.
Anyway, so yeah, that can be, it looks really good once it's all colored. And the reasoning behind the pictures is like, first you want to have some sort of graphic that encompasses your main idea, your main theme, what we just talked about for each of the grade levels. And then you have all of your big ideas around those pictures so that you are building background knowledge before you even have your students step into those texts and try and read them. So as we know, building background knowledge is going to be a direct indicator of how successful they're going to be in that unit and how well they're going to be able to access those texts. Especially in like third grade unit 8, there are some really tricky concepts like the ITZ zone or whatever that was.
Oh yeah,
that text was even like confusing for me. But anyway, we do the anchor chart before starting the unit so that we can pre-teach all those concepts and have students become aware of what we're going to be reading about. And then once you open up those benchmark texts and spend 3 weeks trying to then analyze them and do close reading tasks, then they already have some sort of a foundation. They already have some of the vocabulary too. All right, so that's the anchor chart.
Yep. All right, so extension ideas. Kindergarten, become a weather reporter. Have students draw a picture of what they predict the weather will be like that day. Have a partner record them reporting the weather like a meteorologist. I saw a bunch of green screen activities, probably not necessarily for kindergarten, but as we move through these, there's a lot of green screen technology. Mm-hmm. And then also one that I saw was Play-Doh landforms. So just using Play-Doh and then having them label, the bodies of water or if there's different landforms. First grade, show students videos
for observing the sky.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like.
Go back to it. Okay.
Yes.
So
kinder was weather and seasons. And then
first grade, observing the sky. So show students videos of Mars. Explain how scientists use satellites to get those images from space. And then it also goes with the moon phases. So I know everyone loves the moon phase Oreos. I like doing that. Mm-hmm. And then also there was featuring the planets and different paintings. I saw a bunch of Cinquain poem ideas where they were writing poetry and then also having that art extension.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then second grade, wind and water change Earth. So it's a lot of erosion. For a second grade idea, you can do a tornado in a bottle. You can also do that for third with the natural disasters. Diagrams showing weather and erosion, cornmeal with erosion, cloud.
So the cornmeal was, I saw that they had the cornmeal and then they used like a water dropper and they slowly,
wasn't it
a ruler. Yep. Yeah. And then they had it like a cup and it was slowly melting and then they could see how it was breaking down. Mm-hmm. And then someone else had cookies. They were using chocolate chip cookies, and then they were using the water dropper, and then we were seeing the cookie erode.
And we're resharing all of these images.
Yeah.
These are all shared by people in our group who've been doing this for the last few years. So you'll be able to see those pictures if you just keep checking back on the Facebook group each day.
Yep.
All right, and then third grade, weather and climate. So I did so many projects during this unit. This is one of the units that I definitely expanded beyond the original 3 weeks. We did a travel brochure, first of all, where students had to research. They had to use the inquiry process. It was one of the inquiry-based learning projects that came with the program. They had to determine where their ideal summer vacation would be, and they had to research the climate, the weather. They had to graph the data on that. They had to talk about the natural hazards and disasters, and they had to talk about the landscape and geography. So that's a really fun project, because then they get up and they show their travel brochure as if they're like a travel agent, and they have to try and like pitch the idea that like this is the best place to go for summer vacation.
Where would you go?
Italy, always. Hands down. We have a family reunion next year, summer 2024. So Luke's learning Italian. And we're gonna go and spend the summer next year. What about you?
The Jersey Shore. It sounds so lame now that you just said Italy. I just have nostalgia there, so yeah.
That's funny.
I'll keep my idea to myself. Like, oh man. This was a different, so this is also still third grade.
Yeah, so we did a green screen project with my third graders where they had to pretend they were a meteorologist and report on an upcoming natural disaster that was about to hit us. So they had to come in and teach us. They had to research what the hazard is, what are the causes of the disaster, what are the after effects, survival tips, ways to prepare, things like that. And then we green screened like a news studio behind them, and they came in like little blazers, and each team reported on it and had to warn everybody and tell everybody what's going on, why it's happening in our area, and what they could do to prepare. It was really cool.
I think that is just, especially because different places have different, like you being from California, I would know nothing about an earthquake, and you would probably be able to school me on that, and then I could help you when the hurricanes are coming. You're like, what do I do? Yeah. So I feel like, that's interesting for sure. Yeah. Fourth grade's theme is Earth Changes. So building, there's, the old school building a volcano model. There's tons of read aloud opportunities. The I Survived series, I know when I was 4th and 5th grade, those were super popular. Earthquake simulations, I found when I was looking for ideas. There's tsunami videos. I mean, on YouTube, you can find anything now. So I think that those are, especially with the tsunamis and how those then have other ripple effects to create other things. And then 5th grade, water, fact and fiction. Have students research ways to conserve water and then create public service announcement commercials, persuading their audience, research droughts and their impacts, also humans' impact on water, jellyfish or really any animal paintings, sea creature paintings, and then an idea that I saw in the group was interviewing a body of water. So just like, pretending that you're interviewing the body of water and, talking about the pollution and things that the humans are doing to the animals, and that sort of thing. So I thought those are all
It'd be interesting here because we have the red tide in Florida. That's an issue each year now. I feel like several times a year even.
Blooming,
Yeah.
Or just, the animals and how red tide then impacts manatees, or just our impacts on, I know in Florida we have
respiratory issues.
Right, manatees, and they're mammals, so they have to come to the surface to breathe, but if the red tide kind of like paralyzes them and then they can't get to the surface.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people still don't know about red tide. No. I didn't know about it until coming here, and we were walking along the pier in St. Pete, and there were just dead fish everywhere. Yeah. And it didn't affect our lungs, but a lot of people, like this last spring break, came to spring break in Florida, and they were just all coughing on the beach and like didn't understand why it was unsafe to be around the bloom.
Right, because there's so, I mean, especially Florida, obviously we're a peninsula, so there's water all around us, but depending on where you are, I remember during spring break, people were posting on the pages saying, is this beach safe? Is this beach safe? Because even though there's so many beaches, one might have it, whereas farther up the coast might not have it. So yeah, it's definitely...
It's crazy.
So other ways to find ideas, if you're like, those ideas are terrible, we don't like those. There is a Pinterest board. So I stumbled upon that when I was looking for ideas. There's tons.
Yeah, we started that like, I think the year Ruby was born. So like 5 years ago, I started a Pinterest. So just, I think you just search markers and minions on Pinterest. I don't know if people Pinterest anymore, but I started pinning all these different project ideas, read alouds, like fun things to do with each unit. Actually, Unit 8 has a lot in there though.
Yeah, a lot. And then also there's the Amazon storefront, or is it called a storefront? Amazon?
I think so, yeah, because I was able to make like an Amazon profile where then I could find read alouds and pin it to each unit as well. So if you're looking for mentor texts, other read alouds to bring in for this unit, then you can check that out there.
And then if you have a Mystery Science subscription, or I know Steve Spangler is a good one too, has tons of science ideas. So
yeah. All right, so those are our ideas. If you've got any other cool ideas to share, go ahead and post them in the comments, and stay tuned for our daily posts where we're going to be resharing a lot of cool pictures and experiences from past members.
yeah,
All right.
all right.
All
See
right.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.